Well, hello, everybody. How is everybody this morning? Oh, come on, much more excitement than that, because this is actually really exciting. So it is great to be here with all of you today. I'm going to spend a few minutes just recognizing some of the great other elected officials who are with us. We have several school board members. I want to just give a quick shout out to Anna Shepard, who is the school board chair back there. There she is. We also have Sharon Gentry with us. She's back there. We're also joined by several council members today. We have Council Member Anthony Davis is here. Council Member Vercher is here, and she is the newly appointed Chair of Budget and Finance, so you'll want to get to know her very well. We also have Council Member Allen is with us. Council Member Rosenberg is with us. Council Member O'Connell is with us. And we are hoped to be joined by some other electeds, our state representatives, Brenda Gilmore and Bill Beck. I know are on their way, as is Senator Jeff Yarbrough. So we thank all of them for all of their support and everything that they have done to make this possible. You know, I just had the great opportunity to walk through the Casa Azafran Early Learning Center and just to see the amazing amount of learning that is going on with our young ones. And it just re-energizes for me the importance of making sure that all of our children have access to high quality pre-K, because this is a perfect principle of exactly that. So I want to thank the Early Childhood Education Working Group of all the pre-K providers and partners who came together to create this wonderful report that we're going to put out today, which is called A High Quality Start for All. And we're going to talk about that today. We're also joined by Vice Mayor David Briley back there. Vice Mayor Briley, it's good to see you. I also want to thank all of the children's champions who have worked to go out and identify all of those private resources that we need to help support our pre-K efforts. I talk often about this. Government can't do this by ourselves. We need those critical partners, and we are thankful. And the group of foundations and philanthropists who have started looking at how they're going to be able to lend all of their support to this. So if you are a philanthropist in the audience today, thank you in advance. We have partners outside of government who do this work right, and they do it well. We have that because we know we can't do it alone. And those private-public partnerships are essential to our success. I'm always happy now when I'm out talking and somebody says private-public first. That's gotten into the kind of the DNA now of Nashville, because it really is about that private support. Let me just pause for a second and take a moment and talk about why. Why do we need high-quality pre-K? We need it because the research shows that it gives our Nashville's youngest residents the success and the readiness that they need in order to be able to read and then to succeed. If you're not ready for school, if you're not ready to read, then you're already on the wrong path. You're less likely to perform well in school, you're less likely to graduate, you're going to make less money, you're likely to become pregnant as a teenager, and you have a very high rate of potential arrest or incarceration. Unfortunately, 2 out of 3 students in our public schools are not meeting the 3rd grade reading expectations. And I've said it before, but it's a staggering statistic. And it is something we the adults in this room, have to change. Supporting our children and making sure they get off to the right start is absolutely critical. Nothing is more important to our long-term health as a city than to making sure that our children are highly educated. I believe every child should have access to high-quality pre-K, and that starts with making sure that every pre-K seat is a high-quality pre-K seat, and that's really important. The work to create this plan is really unprecedented in Nashville's history. The pre-K providers and the partners in the Early Childhood Education Working Group had never gotten together in a room before to talk about what they do and how they do it. And there's a reason for that. They do it all very differently, and they all have their own ideas about what pre-K looks like, and everyone has a different version. But this group did something really incredibly important. What they did when people do what they need to do to move forward together. They worked together. They worked together to reach a consensus on what a shared definition of high quality pre-K looks like, and then they went beyond that. They developed the standards, and they have the backup of that definition to make it really work. So creating that definition and then also creating those standards was key. So I owe the group who got together, that working group, just a big debt of gratitude for setting aside all of those ideas that were different and coming together so that they could come together for the greater good of our community. This plan will change the trajectory of thousands of Nashville and Davidson County kids, and I am so grateful for that. But the work is not done. As we know, this doesn't end today, it begins today. This is going to take all of us working together on behalf of our young people to make sure that they do get a high quality start in school. You know, all of this work has been critical, and we're going to have several folks who are going to come up and speak here in a minute. But I want to just give a special shout out to Laura Moore in my office. Her heart and passion for this work, backed up by data and research, has been the combination that we needed to move this forward. And now I'd like to take a moment and introduce our wonderful Director of Schools, Dr. Sean Joseph. Now, Dr. Sean Joseph and I have a contest on who can have the most adjectives to describe the other. So I'm going to start with amazing, incredible, hardworking, passionate, fabulous. Have I left anything out? No, you're good. Okay, all right. With Dr. Joseph's help, we've been able to do so much of this work, and please welcome Dr. Joseph.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Mayor Barry. This is an extremely exciting day. I've been in education for 21 years now, and never have I seen a community come together and be so focused and so committed and so determined to getting it right. And we didn't just say, let's just create more space. We started off by saying, let's make sure we have quality, and that matters. And we're clear that we're gonna not only give kids an education, we're gonna give them the best possible education they can receive. Because as we have been working this year, we've developed a new strategic plan. And our Board of Education has boldly proclaimed that we want to be the fastest improving district in America. Well, if we're going to improve faster than everyone, we have to make sure students come to us prepared. And this initiative will do just that. It's going to make sure that the students in Davidson County receive high quality learning opportunities even before they enter kindergarten. And that is going to make a tremendous difference for Davidson County and this entire community. Children need and deserve excellence. And we've got to give it to them. I love coming to Casa Azafran and walking through this building and seeing our pre-K students and all that they're learning here. We've got to make sure that all 4,000 students who are eligible receive this type of quality education, and it can happen. The mayor and the council have been beyond committed to this, and they've done more than just talk about it. They've brought people together to make this happen. Not only the expertise that we have here within Nashville, but they've brought expertise from around the country. And again, I also want to commend Laura for her leadership and the work that she's done to pull this team together and make sure that what we do will be done with quality as we expand. So I know that as we look in my budget this year, we're going to make sure that pre-K is seen and that we move forward to make sure that our kids get excellence. So as we increase the capacity, we'll make sure we do it without losing quality. So thank you, Mayor, for your leadership and all you've done. And I look forward to ensuring that all 4,000 children have excellence by design in Nashville. Thank you.
Good morning. That's a great crowd. I love it. I can tell we're at a school. My name is Laura Moore, and I serve as the Senior Education Advisor for Mayor Barry. And for the last several months, I have had the true privilege of working alongside the members of the Early Childhood Education Working Group, which doesn't just include our office, but it includes leaders from Metro Nashville Public Schools, Metro Action Commission and Head Start, the Tennessee Department of Education, the Tennessee Department of Human Services, Vanderbilt University, the Tennessee Early Childhood Training Alliance, the United Way of Metropolitan Nashville, and the Nashville Public Education Foundation. That group came together over the course of 6 months to develop, as the mayor said, a research-based citywide definition of high-quality pre-K and identify solutions to barriers faced by educators, by families, and by children. And our work resulted in an agreement around a set of 21 research-based standards for high quality that all pre-K settings, whether they are run by the district, by Head Start, or community providers, should subscribe to, train, and evaluate against. And this is something that few, if any, other cities in the country have been able to do. The work also resulted in 24 strategies to drive Nashville's service providers toward high quality and universal access to services, agreement on 10 outcomes that will be used to measure success, and a commitment to share data for progress evaluation and decision making. To develop the quality standards, the working group reviewed and cross-referenced Head Start standards, the Tennessee Department of Education standards for the voluntary pre-K program, child care regulations, research-based quality parameters, peer-validated national accreditation standards, and best practice and policy standards. Efforts in other cities were also reviewed, and only standards that are research-based were included. The group identified 10 program quality standards that refer to the principles that should serve as structure for every facility providing services. Research shows that these standards, which include actively recruiting families through coordinated outreach efforts, prioritizing daily attendance, and supporting teachers' focus on listening to children and being more responsive to their needs, are aligned with long-term benefits for children and sustainability of programs. In addition, the group identified 10 instructional quality standards that reflect instruction and classroom management practices that ensure accelerated cognitive and academic gains for children. These standards, which are based on local research conducted by the Tennessee Department of Education and Vanderbilt Peabody's Research Institute, include an intentional focus on oral language and literacy development and maximizing instructional time. The final standard focuses on alignment between pre-K and the early elementary grades to ensure that educators better understand students' strengths and needs when they enter kindergarten and give each child the support he or she needs to do well in the early grades. All of these standards align with a framework recently developed by the Tennessee Department of Education to increase the quality of pre-K throughout the state. In addition to defining quality, the working group identified a set of strategies to address the most pressing barriers that have been preventing quality throughout the city. The strategies align with 4 areas and will be thoroughly and sequentially implemented, monitored, and assessed over the course of the next 5 years. These strategies are geared toward making it easier for families to enroll their children in pre-K and know what to expect of their children, to increase supports provided to teachers, assistant teachers, and program leaders through training, coaching, professional development, and peer learning, and build the citywide infrastructure to evaluate whether the strategies being implemented should be expanded, altered, or discontinued. Finally, the roadmap sets the stage for the creation of additional pre-K seats and meets the demand for early childhood education in Nashville within the next 5 years. The group has also prioritized 10 indicators that will be used to measure success. These indicators include the positive signs of a child's ability to maintain the curiosity and capacity to learn, as well as those indicators that might impair that capacity. For success, both these positive signs and these possible inhibiting factors need to be carefully monitored, and interventions need to be structured to accelerate improvements. I want to close my remarks by reiterating the working group's commitment to doing this work together on behalf of the city's young people. Earlier this month, members of the working group formally committed to continuing to work together to implement the standards and strategies outlined in the roadmap. we all signed a charter that outlines our commitments and responsibilities, not only to each other, but ultimately to Nashville's children. As a group, we believe that we can do more by sharing lessons, pooling resources and strategies, and serving communities in coordination. Bringing people together can be easy, but our commitment to stay together for the long haul, to do the hard work, is a testament to the leadership of the working group members and the power of this moment to deliver great things for children. Now, I'd like to call Harry Allen, Chief Relationship Officer for SFH Pursuit Company, Inc., and Children's Champions Co-Chair, to the podium.
Good morning. My name's Harry Allen, and as Laura said, I have had the privilege of co-chairing the Children's Champions group with Tara Scarlett from the Scarlett Family Foundation. On behalf of Tara and I and the Children's Champions group, I want to thank Mayor Berry and the working group for their efforts the last several months to articulate a shared vision of high-quality pre-K and their commitment to continue working together to implement it. As the son of a retired Metro school teacher, education has always been very important to me and my family. As the father of 3 children, the oldest one being 6 years old, pre-K in particular is really important to me. But as a business leader, I think that an investment in education yields significant returns to our community, and so I'm excited about the private-public partnership opportunity we have here in Nashville. As a community, we have taken great strides to improve educational outcomes for our children. I'm excited to see our city make the collective commitment to start that important work early. You know, when I'm often asked about my educational background, I mention college, and occasionally I'll mention what high school I went to. But really it starts earlier than that, way earlier. Improving education and life outcomes for our children starts before kindergarten. And it starts with laying a high-quality foundation that all our children, regardless of family income, neighborhood, English language proficiency, or their parents' educational attainment, we all need to ensure that they have access to this high quality. I also want to reiterate that this work isn't just important for our children, but it's important to the health of our community and its vibrancy. And all of us have a role to play. As the mayor reminded us this morning, and I like the phrase, it will take a private-public partnership, and government can't do it alone. The working group's efforts can't happen in isolation. It'll take those of us in the wider community to continue to highlight the importance of high-quality pre-K, to demand it, and help support it through advocacy, partnerships, and yes, funding. To me, there's no more worthy investment than the investment in our children. I look forward to continuing to support this work moving forward. And now I'd like to turn it back over to Mayor Berry. Thanks for the opportunity.
You know, we are so lucky to have had Harry be our co-chair for the Children's Champions and all of this advanced work. These were not insignificant time and meetings and commitment. So when Harry talks about his commitment to education, he not only talks about it, he actually walks it. So Harry, thank you so much. I also want to just give a quick shout. I see that we've been joined by State Representative Harold Love, and Senator Yarbrough is also with us. So great to see you guys here. And we're also, I'm going to just share with you this behind me as we continue to talk about why this is so incredible. The fact that this has been converted to a governance structure that is going to continue this work is key. And you know, as we talked about, this is the first step. So what is the next step? Well, you've come to the right place to learn that. We are very close to hiring an early childhood education project manager who will work out of my office this fall to start to coordinate all of our efforts across the high quality pre-K across Davidson County and Nashville, because having that access point and making sure that all those seats that we have now are filled helps as well, because we don't want to leave any seats unfilled. This work is going to take all of us. It's going to take the Metro Council. It's going to take the school board. It's going to take all of these organizations that you see here, and it's going to continue to take the work of all of you in this room. I thank you for agreeing to be on this journey with us. It is a journey, and it's not just one stop. It's many, many steps. I have come to appreciate over the last month that you take a step, and then you breathe, and then you take another one, and you breathe again. And that is what this work is. This is the hard work of making sure that all of our children have access to high quality pre-K. And I appreciate all of your work. Thank you so much.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.